making your announcement in February, you said this campaign will give you an opportunity to talk about your record, to talk about some of those occasions when you stood up to party leadership. You gave some examples earlier. What are the consequences of standing up to party leadership?
Well,
ramifications of that?
You acquire a few scars, but I'll have you note that most of those leaders, virtually all of those leaders that I stood up to over the years, particularly in the leaders I'm referring to, are all gone. They've either been voted out of office or they've been indicted. And so those leaders that I stood up to, the ones in the culture of a legislative body, it's easy for the fraternity mentality to take over. And I remember you will never get an opportunity to be in leadership. You'll never get an opportunity to take money back home if you don't vote with your leadership. I've always felt, in being a student of history, you have to be, this region is independent. They are independent in mind and nature. They may be Democrat or Republican, but in their heart they have a very fierce independent streak about them. I've always tried to reflect that independent streak, and it has not impacted my ability to do my job for the residents of the 119th District. Around the same time after that pension vote, I was successful in securing $1 million line item to bring, at that time, Advanced PCS, now Caremark CVS, to Hanover Township and create over 600 jobs. I've always felt if you have good projects of merit, and you work hard, you're going to get the job done. And I think what a lot of legislators get trapped in is that moment in time of that vote, that critical vote, and you feel that pressure. If you don't stand at that occasion, they're going to have you for your political lifetime. You have to be independent, and there's always another vote. And so I've always been fair and open-minded. There have been times that I've been fiercely with my party, and times where I have not. But I have always stood with the people of northeastern Pennsylvania. They hired me to do a job as their state representative. They're my boss. They pay my salary. I answer to them. I don't answer to party bosses in Harrisburg. I don't answer to party bosses in Luzerne County. I answer to the people that vote for me, hire me, and pay my salary.
I apologize because there's a lapse in my research here. I know you ran unsuccessfully for a seat in 1996. You were 26 years old then, I believe?
25, 26, yeah.
What did you do between college and your first?
I had a wonderful job at the Oosterhout Free Library as Director of Development, and it was the best opportunity a young man could have out of college. I got to meet all the great community leaders that you know well, the great philanthropists in this community. And as I was the Director of Development to run their annual campaign, and so I got to meet some of the great leaders in this community who I continue to respect and admire today. And it instilled in me, it was actually an evolution of finding my way in the professional world. As you know, you're coming out of college. I was an English major in Penn State. Of course, my father included would ask, okay, what are you going to do with an English degree? You actually going to get a job in this world? And I said, listen, my refrain was, well, I'm going to change the world. So as you would as a cocky young kid, but I got an opportunity by. There's been great opportunity after failed elections. I was in student government at Penn State. I was the director of their state affairs, as luck would have it. My candidate for the presidency of the student body, student government, lost the election at Penn State. And in what the university has is a student gift committee, same gift committee that gave the university the Nittany Lion Shrine. I wasn't even aware of it, but they reached out and said, you guys are active, do you want to be a part of this gift committee? And I got to understand and learn all about the development profession. We raised over $100,000 and built a wing at the Health Science Center. And that just clicked in my mind and my heart. I said, I want to find a way to be involved in this life, raising money and doing great things. And then, as luck would have it, I had an opportunity to raise money for the Yudichak. And from that experience, I said, if I ever get an opportunity, if I ever, I don't know if I'll ever make $1 million, probably not. So how am I ever going to be a philanthropist like the folks here in Luzerne County that I respect so much? What I did when I was first elected in 98, in 96, they had passed a pay raise. Now, I could have easily, and nobody would have knocked me for it, and nobody probably would even have known about it. I made a decision, I'm not going to take that pay raise. I'm going to set an example. My first act out of the gate is I'm going to set an example. This is about being accountable. And I took that pay raise and I created the Yudichak Family Fund in the Luzerne Foundation. And thank God there was the Luzerne Foundation because I had no idea how I was going to be a philanthropist with the limited time and money that I had. And I went and I sat down with the foundation at the time, explained to them my idea and my vision, and they said, welcome. And we set up, and I thought maybe I'll raise a couple $1,000s a year and I'll give it back to the libraries. And well, this year we're going to celebrate our 10th anniversary. We'll have given back over $100,000 to public libraries in my district, to youth programs, and it's been the best thing about my life because, one, I got to honor my parents. I got to honor my family. I have 5 sisters and a brother, and I have parents who, you know, those unsung heroes in our community. They're just, my father was a guy with him and a couple of friends that built the Plymouth Township Little League Rec Park, where, you know, hundreds and thousands of kids got to play Little League. There's no plaques to my father. There's no statues to my father, but they're the guys that make this a great community. So I was able to do that, and I was able, even when my mother passed in 2005, create an endowment for her at the Children's Service Center in Wilkes-Barre. It's the Sally Yudichak Expressive Arts Program for the kids at the Children's Service Center, and it really has been the best thing in my life. And that was an evolution of my Penn State experience, the Yudichak experience. That's why I was at the Great Gatsby. I go back to every year, and they have this great a campaign, a Windows campaign, Windows of Opportunity, and I think about it. My office was actually in the across the way over in the Presbyterian Church, a little office about the size of a closet, and as I'm walking and looking and thinking about making a donation to buy one of these windows and put my family's name up there, I just had to pinch myself and say that I'm going to have that opportunity after being an employee here, and it's always great to go back there and remember the folks that gave me the opportunity.